The Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite is a mouthful, but it's also a budget-friendly $300 tablet with an included stylus. The M5 Lite is a few months old, but we thought we'd revisit the device to see what it's all about and if it's worth the price. The build consists of a metal unibody design with curved glass edges to help make it feel more comfortable in the hands. There's no curved display, but the glass on the front of the display is curved. There's some slight creaking when lightly twisting the tablet, which makes me think it's not going to hold up well if it's sat on or thrown around wildly. But to be fair, most tablets don't have a very high structural intensity because of their large, thin profile. With the M5 Lite, there are quad stereo speakers tuned by Harman Kardon, and they sound great. They get very loud, and the bass is robust enough to give the sound the depth of a small Bluetooth speaker. This was a very pleasant surprise. There is an 8-megapixel camera on the rear and on the front, but the rear camera is really only there if you absolutely need it, because the quality based upon first impressions is a dumpster fire. Photos in anything but great lighting conditions will come out noisy, but hey, if you absolutely need it for scanning a barcode or scanning documents, it's there for you. On the front of the tablet, we have a capacitive home button that also houses the fingerprint scanner, and it seems to work well unlocking the tablet. The only slight issue I have with this capacitive button is that when you're in portrait mode, it's not very difficult to accidentally press the button and close the app you are viewing, which can be a little bit annoying. But it's pretty clear that Huawei expects you to use this tablet predominantly in landscape mode, as the Huawei branding on the top is oriented that way, and the capacitive button is located below the display. Now that display, it measures in at 10.1 inches, and it features an IPS LCD display panel with a 1920 by 1200 resolution. And that only translates to a 224 pixel per inch index. That's about 100 PPIs less than optimal, and a couple hundred PPIs less than the premium densities we see in mini phones and ultra high-end tablets today. The display, it does get fairly bright and it has decent viewing angles and colors, but you can notice the individual pixels and the lack of clarity when compared to your phone. Powering this tablet is a Kirin 659 octa-core processor with either 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM, just depending on which configuration you select, the 32 or 64 gigabyte storage model. There's plenty of power to help keep this tablet running smooth for the most part. Apps seem to open up pretty quickly, and navigating the tablet as a whole is pretty seamless. I will say though that the skin, while it's fairly minimal, it seems to make the tablet feel a bit outdated. The animations just are noticeably more choppy than stock Android or other skins that I've used. Now, what's really neat about this tablet that not a lot of others have is an included stylus. And this stylus is actually really nice. It's not some plastic afterthought of a stylus like the stylus for the LG Stylo. No, this one actually feels sturdy and has the dimensions of a standard ink pen. I'm not a graphic designer, so I don't use styluses as much as some people do, but I think artists will find this pen pretty comfortable in the hand. There are some pre-installed apps to take advantage of the stylus too. My favorite is called Nebo for Huawei. It's a note-taking app that lets you write lists or documents using this stylus. And what I really like about it is the built-in gestures to help you do a lot of different things. Like you can split up letters, you can erase letters and words just by scribbling out the letters or the words, and you can move texts around just by swiping up or down between words. There's a neat tutorial that walks you through all the different gestures, but I just think it's really cool and actually really useful. Last but not least, I want to mention the battery. Inside is a pretty large 7500 milliamp hour battery with 18 watt fast charging support. So even if you manage to kill this thing in one day, the fast charging support will come in handy to help you top it off in only a couple hours or so from empty to full. What makes the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite so appealing to me is its price. For $300, you get a pretty solid 10.1 inch tablet with great speakers, good build, and long-lasting battery life. It doesn't have the highest end display with the most pixels, but that's because this tablet is a fraction of the cost of the ultra premium tablets from Apple and from Samsung. So if you're interested in picking up one of these tablets or looking into the specs and features further, I'll place a link to the Amazon listing in the description. With that said, I'm Bo HD from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.